Yes, hello. Good evening. Welcome to the George Mason Show. Good to have you in, and I got a special guest tonight, and I'm excited about it. And I'm going to do a few things, and then just get right to it. We're going to bring him on, and not going to waste any time. And first of all, I want to say thank you, Money Marv, again for sharing your platform with me and to Breaking Bread. And as always, I appreciate it. I just wanted to say that. And folks, look out for the Money Marv report. That's from 10 to 12 p.m. on Sunday evening, every Sundays. Hello, Sharon. Sharon Fox on the check-in. Good evening to you as well. Uh, how you doing, Sharon? Sharon's you told about Cook. She ain't no joke. Culinary, am I saying that right, Sharon? Culinary expert. And I'm trying to get Sharon on this show. And she's something special. But yeah, uh, the Money Mark Report from 10 to 12 Sundays. He's got great content. Hello, hey, Pancho, Jose, in on the check-in. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. That's what's up. Yeah, we got a great guest. And I just wanted to touch on, I'm in New York. If you, for who doesn't know, I'm based out of New York City. And I say that to say we just elected a new mayor, okay? And he just appointed a new chief, a female, black female, African American, if you want to be politically correct. And she's very, very pretty, very beautiful. And, you know, the questions are going to be flying around. Is he hitting that? I already know. That's the way, it's going to go down. But, she's based out of Long Island. You know, let them, let him do what he does, please. He's not hitting that. I'm hitting that. No. Uh, okay. No. But you know what? I My guest tonight. He's legendary. He's stage screen. He's a terrific actor, and he's a great comedian. And he's been in the business for. He'll tell you about it when he comes out. You know, but I also wanted to point out real quick about this guy in he was Italian. I don't know if he's from Italy or wherever. You know, with these COVID shots. This dude, man, he went to go get the shot, but he was wearing a fake arm for the shot. Yeah, you can't make that up. A fake arm, and his he just hooked up with this girl. She wanted to know, was there anything else fake on his body parts that he was wearing? Okay. Well, I don't know if it deserved that kind of laugh, but yeah, I got to work that one out a little bit more. But folks, uh, this man I'm going to introduce now, he stand-up comedian. I seen his special, and it's on Amazon Prime. It's called The Set List. He's a comedian. I make that distinction of saying uh, he does improvisational. His special is based on improv. If anybody's ever done improv or tried improv, to know how difficult that feat is to try to, for an hour, go from one subject to the next. It's incredible. You really have to know what you're doing to master that craft. It's incredible. So without further ado, I've been a fan of this man for years. To be honest with you, his comedy and this whole everything about him. He's a legend. I'd say I'd give him that distinction. And let's welcome now into the studio. Let's bring him in without further ado, Mr. Rick Overton. Let's give it up for Rick, okay? Yes. Thank you, Rick.
Thank
Welcome.
you, George. Real pleasure. Thank you, man.
No problem. Like I said, I saw the special. Yeah, and set list, improvisational, and you got chops, baby. You got
Oh,
chops.
thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. Well, it would have to take one to know one then.
Okay. All right.
You
Yeah.
got the chops too.
Well, listen, I'm hanging in. I'm trying, but you know what? I wanted to ask you because you got a rich history, rich culture. Before we even get into that, like with the questions, not even going to expound on the leading questions, the set list, because they're not, but kind of like give away the whole, you know. But yeah, but the flow of it. How did how was it a challenge for you?
No, it's for something that is scary. Not every scary thing is a bad scary. There's good scary. That's why people go to, ride and see the rubber shark come out of the water and bite at them and go down again. Or a roller coaster or a movie. There's a part of the scary that they like. And I think that's something I like in my show. I like getting myself in a little bit of trouble and unknown territory. They throw, and it's not normal suggestions they print up behind you. They on the screen, they'll print up combined words, and then you have to describe it. And what I try to do is I try to string it together like it's one whole lecture I'm giving, and I have no idea where I'm going. I like to fall backwards into the hole and see if I can get out again,
Like working without a net.
Yeah, no net. And sometimes you can see there's a little struggle there. And, oh, man, he got himself into it. And I really got to dig out after that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've never, like the improv, I say, meetings when you come out, you have a set act. You have a set structured, from A to Z where you're going, or you should know. I put it to you like that, as you know. And so sometimes we'll mix it up, go the order. If you're working the road, you establish, you get new material as it goes. But that improv, you have to be quick on your feet. When you get a heckler, they're throwing at you, so you have to respond. You have to come back. We got the stock lines. We have the stock heckle lines. But then again, the originality, to combat, to ward them off. When they see that you're not playing, that your stuff, they leave you alone for the most part. But that whole improv game, expound. Okay, what are you going to say?
No, I would say that I'm in set list. I'm still using the English language. There are references to things I know. I'm just trying to do them in a slightly different order. And I have, for my regular set, when it's just a memorized set, there are a few little things I can apply to the audience member. That's good old standby line. But sometimes the fun is then challenge yourself. See if you can make something that's really custom tailored just to them for their suit, that just fits them just right on the spot. It's fun.
It's interesting too. It's not like, as I said, it's not easy. You make it look easy. That's when somebody's really mastered their craft. The fact that you can make something that's difficult easy, look easy, and give the appearance easy.
There's a couple of times it's not that easy. You can see me like, oh man, where did I go here? I really try to set each thing up before I even take a look at these. So I may be walking in the completely wrong direction with the setup, 180 degrees,
But you get out of it.
Then I got to string that together.
Yeah. Just the opening line, that was funny as hell. The first, and you had fun with that too. I said, okay, all right. And then it just steamrolls and goes. As you said, you tie it in and, really nice.
Oh, thanks. It's, I've done the game for, some 15 years now. So we thought, why not do a special on that? I'm this old guy. What's he doing up there on the screen? Well, it's not a normal stand-up special. This is all completely improvised, so that kind of puts it maybe in a different category. Hopefully, but people would want to see that. Watch the thrills and the chills and the spills, all of which exist in this.
And you know what's interesting? I did a little research on you. You wrote for Dennis Miller. You won an Emmy.
Live, HBO. That's right.
All right, HBO. And what was that experience like? I mean, Dennis Miller, for people who don't know, he would. What do you want to say about Dennis? Would conservative?
Let me tell you, he's Friday. Dennis went on Friday.
Right. Okay.
That means every major topic that happened during the week is like this floating carcass that every shark bit and came and ate all week long. So there's this little skeleton that floats your way on Friday of jokes that have not been covered by Jay or David or whoever else at the time, right?
Right.
So it was almost all devoured. But what it made us do instead was kind of find our own weird ways of getting around it and then make that the style.
Gotcha.
So it was actually good training in how to get around a thing. And it's like the way comics watch every other guy ahead of them. Some guys do, some guys don't. Some days I'll go up and do my act no matter what. But some comics, they go in and they watch and they study, go, oh, that's kind of my topic. Yeah, that's too much overlap. And what it can do, if there's a positive side to any of that, is it makes you go, all right, I'll write something new, or I'll put in something new, or I'll switch the order around. Keep your brain in that facile state of motion.
And Dennis was very unique in that, comedians, you always say, like, you're playing a certain club or certain room, if the crowd doesn't get your stuff, he's a little bit too hip for the room. Dennis is just a little bit too hip for, with his stuff, with the obscure gestures and stuff. But how did you find, like, writing for him? Were you like, you had to be tuned in. You have to know what the hell he's talking about in order to really get him.
Well, let's say, I don't know what the language barriers are here. What are our language do's and don'ts on this show?
No language. Say what the fuck you want to say.
So here's the joke. I'll give you an example of a kind of joke that's a comparison, one thing with another that Dennis likes to do. He likes making analogies, one to another. And so a big and a small sometimes. So one of the lines I wrote for Dennis was, the educational system in America is more fucked up than Peter O'Toole on his birthday.
Interesting. Yeah.
Known heavy drinker, known for having blowout, unrecognizably drunk parties.
And what about the one where he was saying about the educational system is so poorly funded and directed that almost like an Ed Wood movie or something along those lines? You have to know who Ed Wood is to even get that. Like,
right. Plan 9. Plan 9, right? Yeah. It was worse than Plan 9, something along those lines, because that was supposed to be one of the famously bad films ever made, that is a cult favorite for ironic reasons,
Bela Lugosi with Ed Wood.
That's like one of his last gigs, man. He does this last gig.
Yeah.
Halfway through, I had to replace him with the chiropractor.
Is that right?
Yeah. Wrong height. Got wrong size. Yeah.
Because when I was looking, I was like, okay. Your father. Musical arrangements for Thelonious Monk. And when I saw the special set list, I kind of, wow. Yeah, when I saw this special, I equated, I think I might have mentioned it to you. I said, it was like a jazz, I saw a lot of jazz. I did.
That's
you
what
know,
I want. I want to see the genius in the words and inspire others.
yeah, because it was like, you know, what was it like? What was a day like? So when did like Monk? When did this whole, you know, your father taught at Juilliard as prestigious, huh? Your mother, uh, Nancy Overton, was in the Claudettes. So you were just, it was crazy. I mean, the culture. What was the barbecues like? You had Miles Over, Diz, the Coltrane, Art Blakey.
Yeah. Diz would come by. Diz would wreck me as a kid by going, when blowing his cheeks out,
Yeah, yeah.
he would do it to make me laugh, go boom, and bam, out they go like that. And I
How
would just
old?
start screaming, laughing. And then whenever he played Salt Peanuts, that destroyed me.
Wow.
Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da, Salt Peanuts. It's one of my, as a little kid, I would just fall off the chair. I loved it. And so he'd do it all the time to me. It's like that.
How old were you at that time?
Oh, little kid. It was, and then I guess up until what, little kid? 67 now. So up until my, tweeny teens,
Okay. All right.
early tweenies. And also Thelonious Monk and Diz lived in Englewood, New Jersey. So they recommended we come out and live near them because we were in Forest Hills and parking was getting nuts. So we moved out to Englewood to live near his dear friends.
Mm.
And then we spent, the last years of his life there.
Did you barbecue? Did everybody come
Dad
over?
would on occasion throw a barbecue, and on occasion someone would come over, though it was mostly dinners inside. Mom would make us something or other. And Monk would be talking in hip code to Dad. And, Mom kind of got it, but I was a kid. And then Steve was there for some of it too, my brother. And we'd watch the interactions. By the way, my brother Steve is a really wonderful, exceptional musician. Steve Overton, SX Overton on YouTube, or The Finger, Fingur. And he self-produces all his own stuff from A to Z. He's like is self-contained. And so check that out. And but back to the experiences back in Englewood, New Jersey. There would be, on occasion, there would be get-togethers outside, but mostly it was at the dinner table, and there'd be parties inside. And my dad, if you know the Jazz Loft, where they talk about the formation, the invention.
6th Avenue, right?
It's a bebop is being formed at the Jazz Loft. They're inventing it there. And in part, not completely, but a lot of the guys who come and invent their style in the recording equipment. That was my dad's loft. And the new movie out, Minamata, is about David X. Young, the guy whose building Dad rented the loft out of. So they're all connected. And if you ever see the documentary, The Jazz Loft, you can see photos of my dad standing with the guys.
Interesting. Like I said, rich history, man, it's just fascinating to me. And when I looked and I said, hey, what's up, Eddie Prather? Nice show. God bless you, partner. It's my buddy there in Florida. Yeah. So he's enjoying the show. So, partner, you gotta watch that, the Amazon Prime. It's called Setlist with Rick Overton.
Yeah, Rick Overton. It's called Rick Overton's Setlist Special.
Setlist Special. And
Rick Overton's. Yeah.
Like I saw at the end with Paul Provenza when you guys were basically going over like what was happening, that is interesting in itself. Like what was the thought process for this particular piece?
Why did we do that? Because I don't know if everybody understands that was rehearsed. Somebody goes, no, come on, you first all that. That's just you pretending that it's improvised. Some just don't believe you can do it. They don't get their head around it. But no, it's really improv. We break it down. Look, like if it was rehearsed, I wouldn't have gotten in so much trouble in some of those parts. I would have pulled some of that out. If I was editing, there's no editing. Right? The editing I'm doing is at the speed of light while I'm on my feet.
Gotcha.
Trying to, and let your gut talk. And Jonathan Winters was very much like that. My dad was a huge Jonathan Winters fan, and he was
great.
He's the daddy of so much of the improv comedy we all do now with characters and everything. He was just one guy, and he was an orchestra of people.
Robin Williams was great at that too. He was Jonathan Winters was his.
That's right.
Everything man. No.
That's right.
And
absolutely right.
Yeah.
A lot of people loved Jonathan as this formative figure.
Well, when he used to come on the celebrity roast with Dean Martin, and he was just not.
Yes.
He was just, even Don Rickles was just rolling because you just again with the improv you just you don't know, and I think Jonathan didn't know at that time until he got into character, because he performed with Johnny with Carson and with Frank. He would just hit him and just like bam, but it's a
that's
skill.
right.
Definitely.
No, it's a gift. It's a message. I don't know what he's channeling or something, but he could go for hours, and he would stop people in stores and just start going off as different characters and things like that. And everyone in the stores freeze, form circle, especially up in Santa Barbara where everyone knew you might get a Jonathan visit today. Just get on the phone and change all other plans.
He just didn't know. Yeah,
you want the story for the rest of your life that you were there for one of those.
From Forest Hills. But you know what? I was curious. You played did you do the Dangerfields, the whole New York before you
yeah. Oh, she just went away. I know, just recently. I know. Well, you know what? It was an era. And we timed it pretty, chronologically, I cannot argue with how I landed on Earth. It was just good. In a lot of ways, I landed boom, boom, right in the exact seat where you can go the right age to start the comedy, boom, and get there just as the work is starting to roll in. And, a lot of blessings in a row. I know how lucky I am. Best I can do is try to pay it forward.
No doubt. And what year did you leave New York and then head to get into Cali?
Late 79. I was in comedy for all those years in New York. I started comedy in the early 70s.
From high school, or you?
I was in the biz before the biz was the biz. I was just trying to make it with my comedy partner and doing colleges and music venues opening for groups, and that's where the work. Or a Playboy Club.
Gotcha. You mess with did you work for Rick Messina and Tony Camacho, them cats? Or you did Messina?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Dear Rick and Tony. Yes.
Yeah, Tony's in Vegas now, right? And
Paul Stanley and sure. No.
Okay. Yeah. And
that's right. That's right. Uh-huh.
Now I was saying with you went right in the apex when like the cats like Max Alexander, Hiram Caston. Do you remember a comedian, Hyacopia? Remember Hyacopia?
Hyacopio.
Hyacopia, remember? Yeah.
Hyacopio.
There you go. And he was the look he had, but he just never got that material that would have just put him over. I felt, because he was just funny. A funny look when he walked.
Could have been on a sitcom, right, George? Shouldn't it have been that one, the neighbor, the guy, like on a Newhart? He's one of the patients that everyone loves and always comes in. That's sort of, you see the recurring Hycopio as someone on a show. Because he was such a character. Use that character. Find a way to employ it.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I wrote something for him one time, and it was just like, so you know, for him, if he had used it, but he just, he was one of those sticklers where he was going to do his material his way, which you have to understand.
That's not common for a comedian, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, and then Randy Credico was there at that time, right? Before he got into this whole political thing. Ben Creed.
I talk to Randy. I communicate with Randy all the time.
Dude, really? Okay. Yeah.
He's very active in the politics now.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was mixed up with that whole Roger Snow, I don't even want to get into that. But you know what? I mean, and he was funny. Randy Hyde, those cats, and Nancy Redmond, Judy Gold, and Maurice, and do you know Ronnie Wilkerson? You remember Ronnie Wilkerson?
Yes, but I don't have. We weren't as some of these other guys that came up with side by side with a lot of those other guys. So not yes, I know Ron, but we're not as tight.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Because when I was working the road, doing the Grant gigs and the Selvin gigs and the Roger Paul, those cats. Did you work with John Schuler in Connecticut? You did Schuler gigs?
Schuler, I did Schuler, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a place that was downstairs in a sort of a basement area, and it was like a restaurant, but they converted it into a club. This is years ago. I forget it. I forget where. Where is his towns in Connecticut? Give me his towns.
New Haven. Right next to New Haven. I played a hell gig one time, and it was like, this guy I worked with him, and it was I forget what New Haven it was. The guy, he set me up. He fucked me. I don't know. He didn't like me. I don't know what it was. We had did some stuff, something in some place in Bumfuck, Pennsylvania, and he said, "George, I got something for you. It's a bit of a biker's gig. Yeah, but that's what he said. And I got there. I get to spots early, and it was just a one man. It's just me." And I got in early, and then I see this guy coming through. I'm eating, right? I see a guy comes through the door. He's got a dungaree jacket on, and I don't think nothing of it. And then when he turns around, he says, "Hell's Angel." It was a chapter of the Hell's Angel for that spot of Connecticut I was in, and I said, "Okay, he's just one guy," and you know the rest. It was a hell. It was by the end of the night.
A literal hell gig with an actual Hell's Angel. That just makes it official.
Yeah, and there was no ad-libbing that night. There was no improvisation. Everything was like it was outside. It was one of those.
Even better. No, George. There's only what could make something like that even better. Put it outside with traffic noises to distract everyone. That's the only thing. And airplanes going overhead and helicopters. That's the only thing that could improve it.
And you know what was fucking? It was crazy. They liked me. They were telling me.
Because you were on your toes. You were winging stuff in the order in which you did that, right? There was some improv involved, right?
Some, but you know what? I just stayed true to me.
But you dealt with reality.
Yeah, that was it. I just hit them with, and it was interesting because they were screaming out there. They told me before I went up, only one guy had made it through. Yeah. That's right before.
And he's in the hospital now. Yeah, I got that. He doesn't work anymore.
But you know what? I said I ain't got nothing to lose. Fuck it. You know what I mean? I got my money up. They paid me. They fed me. The old days they used to say, "Did you eat?" You get to
yeah, right? Did they pay you? Yeah, right.
Did you eat? So yeah, so they fed me, and I got paid. So you know what? It was a bit of a biker's gig. Yeah, it was
Did you
crazy.
ever open for a musician that they didn't know you were first?
Yeah, you know what? I opened for several musicians. It's interesting because you know I was trying to explain at one point like what the difference when working for comics, opening for a comedian, or working for a band. I opened up for uh, uh, Dionne Warwick, and that was a hell gig for me. For Miss Warwick, it was the logistics. I worked at upstate and in SUNY, and this is redneck territory, and I didn't read the audience. I see all the white faces out there, and that's no problem. My material goes, universal, which is okay. But the thing is that I used to do this Yiddish bit, I do the Jackie thing. I come out, and but I didn't know that these people didn't like Jews either. I didn't have a clue. So that's what I opened up with.
That's tough crap.
Yeah, they liked me a lot. I opened for 1,800 people. Great, check it out. 1,800, 1,500 is in the auditorium. 300 is on the grass. They got an atrium that's there. But this particular day, it rains. So the people in the grass, they're miserable. They're fucking miserable. Yeah. And
Yeah. Let's get this over. Yeah, right.
You worked in front of a spot, so you know what that's like. You can't see. You can't see ahead of you 3 feet. And I had never worked in front of a spot. So I'm doing the Yiddish.
Here come the bugs. Here come the bugs.
Here come the bugs. I'm doing the thing, for the Yiddish routine, and the spot is hitting me. I'm trying to duck out of the spot and look around, trying to, make eye contact. And can't do it. And I'm dying. I'm dying like a road animal. I'm bombing. 15 minutes, I got nothing. And these cats, they got me on the clock. They wanted me to work squeaky clean. I said, I got that. I got squeaky clean. That's not a problem. So I'm giving them 15 minutes of everything. I'm hitting them from all sides. Nothing. They do something. I hit them. I move them. I start getting laughs. I come down at 30 minutes, and now they're giving me, beefs about you offended the Jews and the Puerto Ricans.
Good. Jeez. Oh, man.
Yeah, so you know what? Yeah, the music.
What year was that, George? What year?
That was 96 or something like that. Maybe 97.
And that was when we thought the world was PC. It is so much further down that rabbit hole right now.
And but what was your thing with the music opening up for music?
Emmylou Harris one time they had me open up for Emmylou Harris, but they didn't announce it on all the radio shows and everything like that. And that was kind of like a little last minute idea that they were going to put in there. And so, hey everybody, while we're getting ready, why don't you loosen up and enjoy the comedy stylings of Rick Overton? And I come out there, what? Boo, boo. They're mad. They were furious that I was even out there. Go, wrap it up. Well, you're not funny. I didn't say a word yet. You're not funny. And, so I risked a Kreskin joke there. Well, wonderful psychic Kreskin is here to tell you in advance. And then I tried, and the only time, and I wasn't really I didn't know if I was going to get my ass handed to me for saying this, but they kind of they got it when I said, hey, Emmylou's putting her makeup on now. She's not going to do clown makeup to get out early just to make you happy. You timed your drugs wrong. I'm sorry about that part. I'm not in charge of that. I just show up for come on, man, just let me finish the gig. And they kind of went, oh, okay, all right. And then I could roll into a bit. It was not a spectacular set, and it would not be one you want to record for an album. But no, I think dealing with the reality and letting them know that kind of dynamic, all right. So that doesn't always work either. There's
No.
shows where I tried that one again because I would constantly be landing early in the career into spots like that because those are the gigs. Those are the ones they had. There weren't enough of the other ones yet. Those would come in short time, but at this point, money came from that.
Yeah.
Open for some big music thing and tidy your act up.
I kind of got relegated to the opening act venue. Like with Gary, you work Rob Bartlett's manager, Gary Grant.
Gary, I worked with him. Yeah, he's a good guy. So I certainly, I know.
And he had me over in on Long Island in Oyster Bay for Gorshin, for Frank Gorshin. I worked with Frank. And
you worked with Frank Gorshin? That's one of my heroes of all time that I never got to meet.
He was a sweetheart. He was just incredible. He actually befriended me. Frank was trying to take me, to the next level, but I had an addiction. I was out there at that time. It was that cocaine, that era, and I was fucking around, and I just didn't understand what Frank was trying to do for me. He actually came to my defense on stage, and a guy yelled out. I was doing, I do original material, but I was doing a jokey joke at the end to close it out before he brought up Frank, and he was suing. I forget what hotel he was working for in Vegas at the time for like $800,000. Astronomical, for him, that was just what it is.
Then.
Yeah, at then. And he said he was explaining to me why he was doing that kind of gig. He was working, and in his contract, if somebody yelled out, the management would come over and reprimand them. If they yelled out a second time, Gorshin walks. So he said, the guy yelled out once, management came over second time, I walked. So what the hotels usually do, they sue you because they say you breached. That tactic. So what they do, they try to offset it. So he said he was, telling me that's why he was in that kind of gig. He was trying to downplay. I get it. I didn't have a problem with that, but I got a chance to work with Frank. I do a few impressions, and I told him, and he was asking me what I was going to do that night, and I said I'm not going to do any. That's why, because I love his Bert when he did the shootout. When he does that classical bit when he does with what is that? Kirk Douglas and Burt Lancaster. We lost Rick. Where did Rick go? Rick, are you there? But yeah, Rick was telling me earlier that they were having some problems in level 3 type situation with the internet, and I hope that that's not what is going on now. But yeah, so we're talking about his special with the Amazon Prime, where it's called Set List, and it's a funny special. Rick is a funny man. I've been a big fan of his, as I told him, for years. He was in that movie. I don't know if you've seen it, Groundhog Day. He plays these cats, man, that are hanging out in the bar. I wanted them to tell you, about that experience in '09. What the hell happened to Rick Overton? Rick, are you there? But it's also, I wanted him to break down another scene on one of my favorite shows, Curb Your Enthusiasm. And he plays, is a scene, it's called The Baptism. And it pits the Jews against the Gentiles. But because that show, I think they dealt with a lot of improvisational. I think with Larry David, he would give you a script, not a script, but he would give you the basic premise for what he wanted. And he would have, I think, a few key words, some catchwords, and I think you play off of that. And that's how the scene was made. And I think most of the time they made magic. It was good because you had a lot of actors and big players, and and comedians that, oh, there he is. There Rick is. Rick, I don't know what happened. Is that level 3 thing you were talking about? Rick's microphone is muted. Rick? 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 Your mic is muted. Your mic is muted. Your mic is muted. Unmute his mic. Brother Marv. Yeah, Rick, I was talking about how did his mic get muted? I was speaking about that scene that from Curb Your Enthusiasm, the baptism. That's funny. You started yeah with the what happened to Brother Rick's microphone? Why is it muted? You got to work these technical things out. That's not on your end then? The mic is muted. Brother Marv, he has to unmute his mic. Brother Rick, you have to unmute your mic. Your mic is muted. But yeah, I was saying about as a scene in Curb Your Enthusiasm that it's funny as hell. It's good, but when we get Rick back, I want him to really break down that whole improvisational game that he did. I think he started at the Improv, if I'm not mistaken, if I read right. That's where he got his start in New York City. He's in California now, but initially he was a New York City comedian. Like I was saying, we were talking about the different agents where you work and you get work. And I stayed busy working for, several agents, the ones that we were kicking around, we were talking about, and with Camacho and Messina and Grant and Roger Paul and those guys, Shula. And then I went down south. I actually was working for the Creative Comedy Zone, and they had a bunch of rooms. They had 80 rooms all spread out all over. And so I stayed busy with them. But you get a few agents, like I was just mentioning. Then I had the luxury of having my own rooms and booking other comedians and myself as well. Normally I would host the gig and you take a cut that way. And some of these agents, man, they used to, some would double dip, some would triple dip. Double dip is when they, Rick, are you back?
I can hear you now. I'm sorry about that. The internet's just blinking out around here now.
You told me about the level 3. So what?
Been happening a lot now around here. So at least maybe it's my neighborhood. I don't know. Maybe they're fixing something. But it's garbage. Sorry, everybody.
It happens. It happens. I was talking about that episode. The groundhog. You play the like the stoner, the flat. You just want some flapjacks.
Drunk. I just added insane level of drunkenness to it. Like dangerous, could throw up, out of physical control drunkenness, just to add a little edge of to it,
But that scene.
And so Bill Murray was throwing me great stuff. Flapjacks. That's Bill Murray's line.
That's his line.
He thought of it, yeah. I came up with the choreography with Rick Dukeman slip sliding all over the ice and getting in the car and all that. that was, again, I like the physical shtick a little bit, so we had some fun with that. And yeah, some of the dialogue is mine, certainly. Everybody got to put a little something in there because Harold Ramis was a Second City man and an improver, true to the spirit of.
I got you. Yeah, I like Dugan. What was that? The Burbs, and he was in that with Tom Hanks.
With Hanks, yeah,
yeah.
And he was the red herring, yeah.
Yeah. And you were doing something earlier for Taylor Negron, your buddy, Memorial Day.
Yeah, and we had to cancel it and move it because the internet wiped out the entire thing. We were there for like an hour trying to fix it.
Trying to get it together?
And it wouldn't go through. No one could go through. Everything's echoing. Yeah, there's a problem.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to reschedule our tribute to the brilliant Taylor Negron, who I will go on to say really was formative for me watching when we got our first film together, Gary Marshall's first film too. It was called Young Doctors in Love. And there's an
Gary Marshall was the one that initially
I would watch Taylor Negron doing that cha-cha dance thing. It's a box step and it goes like this. And he brought such a presence to that. And that was like my first movie. I was a little nervous what this guy's going to be. I'm not sure how this all works. I did a little indie before that, but this is like a big deal, you know, full of all these great talents. What am I going to do? So when I watched Taylor Negron do that dance scene, I went, oh, man, look at the way he just fills up that space, and it's okay. Oh, I'm going to think about that a lot. And it doesn't mean you don't have to steal every scene, but you can be that comfortable in your skin. And I think that's the message here.
Yeah. I remember him from, I think he did The Last Boy Scout, right? And then Angels in the Outfield. Yeah, I remember Danny Glover and what's his name from Taxi. I like him a lot. He's funny. Tony Danza. Yeah. And when your mic went out, I was telling the audience about that scene from Curb. Now that was improv, was it?
Yeah, but there's an A, B, and a C to it. And if you go long, you're not going to make the cut. They'll just cut you out. He said, we got to get to this part by a certain amount of time. So certain things have to happen. We're going to cover with multiple cameras, but don't expect to be a dominant feature in the scene. Just do your thing here as that guy, you know? And so that was my job. And a lot of times your job is just be that guy right in this spot right here.
But you almost set off the riot. With the,
I was very pissed off about the whole thing. I can tell you that much right now.
You said, what did you say? You think that Christianity? So what are you implying? What are you?
Yeah, what's implying, Larry, that Christianity is not a good religion for this? Yes, just totally misinterpreting everything he said. Like he keeps walking into these situations he doesn't intend to. It really is amazing all these years to make that so incredible every time, isn't it?
And you know what? It's still fun.
It's strong.
It is strong.
It's insane. And he is, I think he's just getting better.
Yeah. Incredible.
It's growing. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Going back to your special, with set list, Amazon Prime, was this your first one that you taped there, or was that in Cali? Was that shot in Cali?
Laxwood. Yeah, North Hollywood. Hugh Laxwood.
It looked like a village type vibe. It looked like very intimate. It had that,
organic kind of people sitting on the floor with pillows, and it was like I wanted it to feel like one of those, like those old folk things, with the reading and but it says we might see something new.
It was refreshing. It was refreshing because it was very, intimate, good, and the spontaneity is right there. you're in the heart, the belly of the beast, so to speak. And what you get is what you get. If they're not feeling you, they not, that's what you're gonna get as well.
That's
You
the
know,
risk. No net, my friend. You just
yes,
go
sir.
out there and whatever happens, you get. That's what you
And
get.
that's it. Yeah. But as I was saying, it just uh, when I was watching it, I was like, wow, he's just, segueing in. When you're doing this for the audience, when you're doing a regular straight set, we call it segues. You want to, a comedian who's worked their sort will segue. Where their set
Right.
should be smooth. You won't even know the
Right.
transition because it's just so. And that's the way his
Oh,
improv when it was,
yeah.
because you
Thank
tried
you.
it.
I think the secret is you try to string it all together. You caught it. You spotted it right away. And I think that's it. Make your brain and your gut, which is actually just as important as your brain. Invite your tummy to everything like that involves improv because it is the one feeding your brain. Your gut is leading. It's the boss. It knows ahead of every other part of you. And so when you go into this, you have to trust that. And it's the scariest thing in the world at first until you realize, hey, that was cool. And you know what's so fun about improv? It's the first time I'm hearing this stuff too. So what's wrong with that, right?
You sometimes, yeah. It gives you the inspiration to elaborate, to go from, point A to B, like you said.
Right.
But yeah,
Exactly.
I seen you some of the stuff, the leader and, the set list made you laugh. You sucked it in, you saw it, and then you said, okay, I can work with this. And then you went from there. I'm like, okay,
That's the
that was
brilliance of Troy Conrad and Paul Provenza. That's his creation. Troy Conrad. He zinked me all the I have to and just shake off the laugh and get back into what I do. Yeah, oh, you got me.
So they were the ones that came up with the set list? Oh, where did the set
Rick
the
Overton's set list. Rick Overton's set list special.
No. Where did the list come from?
Losing the audio. The audio is going out. Could you repeat?
I was saying, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
It's breaking.
Where did the list come from?
Where did the list come from? Troy Conrad writes those things out. He just comes up with like this list of one set of words and a list of another, and you put them together sometimes, and it has to be the thing you explain like it's Liars Club. You have to bullshit your ass off to get through it.
Yeah. Did any of the lists throw you?
Oh, all the time. That's the secret. If you've got a little bit of you that likes the roller coaster, likes the whoa. Yeah, then there's some kind of a charge. I get a little charge out of it. Yeah.
It didn't show. I'll tell you that. Yeah. I was looking for for that. I was looking yeah. But you pulled it off. I'll tell you that. Like I said.
Wow. Well, thank
you. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. Thank you, because it was enjoyable. It was refreshing too, because it's hard,
Yeah. That's exactly the words I wanted to hear. Great. Thank you.
I wonder who you looked up to? Who's your idol? Who did you said Jonathan?
Who are we talking about?
You said Jonathan Winters.
Jonathan Winters, Peter Sellers, and then later who was my friend, Robin Williams, certainly. And, but those were like the Jonathan when I was a young guy, it was Jonathan and Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers, to get dialects right, to really nail the music of those. Because by the way, when you get a dialect, you're doing music. And Frank Gorshin understood that, the music of a perfect impression. And when you're doing a dialect, you're kind of doing an impression. It's an impression of that person from that country.
Peter Sellers was very physical. The Pink Panther. Yeah. You know, he did the thing with the karate with the his little segment, his man.
With Burt Block.
Yeah.
Take me ahead to groceries, don't you know?
Yeah.
Now, you know that he had a hero.
Who's that?
His hero was Sir Alec Guinness. Because Sir Alec Guinness also played multiple roles in one film. And Peter went, oh, I have to have a slice of that pie. I got to get some of that action. And that's sort of what one thing sets off the next. And look at all the other actors that subsequently want to have multiple parts in one film.
You know, but I think they're saving money. I think these guys are greedy. You know, I don't want to mention
Eddie Murphy was masterful.
Yeah, masterful. Then you got Tyler Perry.
Unbelievable.
Well, Eddie's a great actor. You know, with the morbid, again. Wow. Can you hear me now?
Now, yes.
Yeah. But I was saying, Eddie, I respect Eddie. I think he's a terrific actor. There's nothing you could take from Martin Lawrence. You know, is a funny guy. You know, but he's no Eddie. You know, if you listen to Martin, I work with Martin. You know, he does the different characters and stuff like that. But Tyler Perry does. Then again, like I say, you know, spread the love. You know, with the actors and stuff. You know, give a couple of 2 or 3 parts away. You know, say Eddie does how many parts in the movie? You know, depends.
Well, I don't know. That was a big table.
Oh, you're talking about what was that? The Nutty, yeah. But you know what? I like the Jerry Lewis, the original. You know, because Jim Carrey, you know, with the different, with his style, you know, he basically plays the same character, in my opinion. You know, and
lately he's breaking away from that with his more recent portrayals.
I haven't really, you know, seen anything recently with him, you know, but I'm a fan. I like him. He's funny. You can't take anything from him because he earned his way, earned his salt. God bless him. You know, and we're coming up on it. And I want you to drop your social medias where you can be contacting the scene, you know, for whatever, for work, you know, for Rick Overton.
At Rick Overton on Twitter.
And
Rick Overton on the Facebooks.
Gotcha.
The face.
The book of face. And
the book of face. You open the book of face at your peril. He chose poorly.
Rick's special is set list on Amazon.
Rick Overton's set list special on Amazon Prime.
Say it again.
Rick Overton's set list special with the name up front. Rick Overton's set list special. I know it's a lot of words. It takes up the whole marquee. Rick Overton's set list special on Amazon Prime.
And I want to thank the man, the legend, and for gracing the airways with me, the show tonight. And it's an honor and a pleasure. We finally got to chop it up. And all the best to you. And again, it's Rick Overton's set list special on Amazon Prime. Please watch it because it's funny. Right? And I don't endorse it or whatever. You know, I'm not a hater. But if I like you, I like you. It's good. God bless you, sir. And I'll speak to you soon. And thank you again. Yes, Brother Mark. Oh, you're more than welcome. As I said, thank you. Yes. And that was Rick Overton. And please watch his special, as he said, Rick Overton's Set List on Amazon Prime. And that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. My mouth is dry. That just water, but it's all good. But thank you. And again, the Money Marv report from 10 to 12 on Sundays. And we're going to take a couple of weeks for the holidays. I don't know when we're coming back. Normally we do it every Wednesday. We don't have anything scheduled for next week. I want to come back. We want to recharge the batteries, get a nice fresh start after holidays, as I said. I wish you all a very happy holiday, Hanukkah, uh, Christmas. I don't want to forget anybody. So you know what? I'm just going to say happy holidays. All right? And leave it like that. God bless. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Enjoy your night. Peace. Thank you.